Robert McMullen. I'm a psychiatrist. I've been in practice, mainly psychopharmacology, for over 35 years. I also do TMS, which is Transcranial Magnetic Stimulation. And I trained at Georgetown for medical school and Columbia Presbyterian for residency in psychiatry. Now the question is when do I know my problems are severe enough to see a psychiatrist? There's one easy answer to that, and that is if the problem is really interfering with your life. That it's slowing down your life, it's making it difficult in your romantic relationship, or finding a good romantic relationship, or making it difficult to get a good job or get promoted at that job. I often tell my patients that are college students that they have to keep their mood completely normal. If they're prone to depression and they cut back their antidepressants and get mildly depressed, then frequently they have to struggle with study, and it's an enormous burden to study, and their grades fall. And if their grades fall for a semester, then their grade point average for the whole 4 years really suffers. Not to speak of the fact that they're not learning much that semester. A very small problem in psychiatry can lead to a major problem in your life, like an anxiety disorder, with having panic attacks, and so it makes you fearful to go outside, and very uncomfortable in crowded subways and crowded elevators, or social phobia, which is fairly common in about 5% of the population, where people are very uncomfortable in crowds, very uncomfortable meeting new people, and this leads to enormous difficulty applying for a job. How do you do a job interview when you have massive social anxiety and meeting new people makes you extremely anxious? You just do terrible at the job interview, and it's very hard to get around it unless you're taking some medication to block that type of anxiety. And another problem is that many people do not realize they have a problem. I saw a woman news reporter speak recently, I believe it was Elizabeth Vargas, who had a lifelong problem with severe anxiety, but she didn't know she had it. She just struggled with it. She thought that this was normal to have this amount of anxiety. And it led her eventually to drink too much alcohol, and then that caused its own problems. I've seen this many times, that people have so much anxiety that it's really disturbing their life. And it's hard to know you have too much anxiety unless you talk it over with other people and talk with a psychiatrist about it. But if you talk it over with other people, you may realize other people don't worry this much. This constant worrying that I have all day long about every little thing and every big thing is much worse than other people, and I don't have to suffer this. Some people didn't realize they had this problem, and then when they're relieved, they're so relieved. They said, I didn't even know I was suffering this much. That's about all I have to say about when do you know, when should you go to see a psychiatrist. If in doubt, go and have an evaluation. Or have an evaluation with a good psychologist or social worker. Although sometimes I think they see things see most things as psychogenic, and so they want you to get into psychotherapy, and they don't think of the biological illness of depression or anxiety. They don't see it as that, unless you've been in years of psychotherapy that have been fruitless. This is Robert D McMullen, MD, and I just talked a little bit about when to go to see a psychiatrist.
Thank you very much.